Morning and welcome back to Alan's Allotment. It's Saturday the 15th of July 2023. I've been absent for a while, but this last week I ended up with COVID again, and so did Mrs. C. Mrs. C seemed to fare a bit better than I did, but yeah, totally destroyed me again. Set me back as far as ever. No energy whatsoever. But I'm conscious that there was plants needing planting, or seedlings. Never got it done. They're possibly even dead. I don't know. So the allotment's going to be in a bit of a state. The lawnmower's still broken. Although Tony fixed it up and patched it up for a while back, it broke again, and yeah. So everything's getting back on top of me again, but I'm going to have to make an attempt. I can only do a little bit at a time because I get completely out of breath. But I'm going to have to make an attempt at doing something and see what I can get done. I'm not testing positive anymore, but yeah, been a bit of a rough time. Got aches and pains still where I didn't even know they were possible. But overall I think I've turned a corner and I'm on the mend. So just when we think that it had all gone away, or rather you haven't heard much about it in the news or anyone else, I certainly haven't heard of anybody else that's got it, and it was a bit of a shock to me when I knew I had it, though. We just started to get the sharp stabbing pains in the back of my head as usual, which is common with me when I get it. And I thought I was just going to do a test because I'm pretty certain this is COVID, this is no ordinary cold. And it turned out it was. Within seconds, tested positive. Mrs. C done a test and she was also positive as well. She'd been rough for a couple of days. So it hasn't gone away, guys. And I did think, being the third time, I might have got it a bit easier this time, but if anything it was as bad as the first. And it's still taking its toll on me now. But I've turned the corner and I'm over it. I can't smell anything, I can't taste anything this time. I'm not sure how long that's going to last, but yeah, it is what it is. All we can do is keep marching forward, I suppose. So, as a bit of a backfiller, I did do some video footage over the last couple of weeks. So, we'll pop that in as a filler until I'm feeling a bit better. And I hope you enjoy it. Good morning, welcome back. Sunday the 16th of July 2023. Still not feeling very well at the moment. No energy whatsoever. But I thought I'd better come up to the allotment. I needed some tomatoes and some salad. And I just thought I'd have a look around and see what, if anything, is happening in the garden. And I'm not going to let it get me down. But basically things aren't going how they should. I have got some tomatoes, I've got a harvest. There is a few lettuce there, there's a little cucumber, a courgette. Took some onions as well. But let me just quickly spin you around and give you a look at the garden again. The hens have been back in the garden. Basically, they flew up onto the roof and down into the garden and dug the place up again. And I'm not well enough to worry about it, to be honest with you, so I'm just, it is what it is, and we'll give you a little bit of a tour. So you might be able to see they've completely dug the place up again. but it is what it is. Right, let's move on and show you some more failures. These are the condor potatoes we got off Terry King, and the amount of rain we've been getting lately, well, as you can see, they're all pale and yellow, and yeah, they're not doing very well in there at all. Never mind, is what it is. I've just pulled out all of the sweet corn, looking very, very anemic. As you can see, it had all of the tassels on, but not a single cob of corn developed on it. So I'm not going to waste my time anymore with that. These carrots appear to be doing quite well. I've now just cut out all of these cauliflowers that was in here. A complete waste of time. And something appears to, well, there's something not right. Don't know what. But as you can see, they never amounted to anything, and they've blown the chickens off now, boys. On a positive note, this row of carrots that we sowed a couple of weeks ago have now germinated. This cucumber's a weird colour. I can only assume that the cabbages are taking all the nitrogen out of the ground. But I'm now starting to develop something on here, and I'm not sure what it is. Maybe somebody can give me some advice. We are getting some nice peas, and this cucumber, although it's growing tall, it's also a funny colour. I can only assume, as I say, these collies are taking all the nitrogen out of the bed, perhaps. And I've noticed that one of these is trying to develop a small cauliflower. So we'll leave them a little longer and see what happens with these. The lettuces are looking nice. These are a little gem. I'm going to start taking these now. And I've noticed that the carrots under here have also started to germinate. And we did do a row on each side. However, there was only enough to come 3/4 of the way down, but they are starting to germinate. So I pulled all the sweet corn out. These little cabbages are still doing okay, but they're starting to heart up now. The beetroot it should have been thinned out ages ago, but it is growing. The kale's doing magnificent. It's about all. Little mini core cabbages are starting to heart up now for what they are. Leave them a little longer and let them get those hearts. And 1 or 2 little Swedes, which we'll start harvesting now. You don't want them too big. Maybe take one of those down. The runner beans are starting to put out runner beans now. And some of these onions are doing okay. This tomato never got going. Yeah. Another couple of little lettuces. Excuse me. And really, that's about it. The leeks are still coming on okay. But to be honest, I'm not really worried. Right, not a lot for you today, guys, but I got more harvest than I thought. So I'm not going to pull everything out of the bag again, but in here I've got kale, some new potatoes and some runner beans, spring onions, 2 lettuces, a little bit of beetroot. I pulled some carrots, they were quite nice. Got some carrots in there as well. I've got half a bucket of apples. I've thinned the apple tree out, but these are edible, so we might as well use them up. And then we've got a small cucumber, some onions, some red tomatoes, yellow tomatoes, and a yellow courgette. Oh, and I got some more peas in there as well. Oh, and 2 small turnips. Well, I'm just having to sit down and a rest. I'm out of breath already, just getting a little bit of harvest. I've got a cup of coffee, then I'm going to have this, and I'm going back down home. It's absolutely destroying me, this Covid. It's really taking it out of me. I can hardly do anything at all, so there's no point in fighting. I'm going to have this cup of coffee and I'm going to make my way down home. Hopefully next week we'll be back to our normal self. As always, wherever you are in the world, please stay safe, be practical and keep yourselves out of harm's way. Thanks again for all your likes, dislikes, comments, subscriptions, suggestions and your donations. It really is appreciated. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.